Good afternoon. I want to tell you that at our ceremony at the Veal Convocation Center, where the President bestowed the degree upon you, as I was walking back, she said, "You have a rowdy crowd, Cleve." And I say, "We sure do, isn't it great?" Yeah, yeah, there you go. Well, I appreciated your enthusiasm this morning, enthusiasm as I and other faculty were walking towards the Convocation Center, and then the cheering that you did for yourselves in this very momentous occasion. So this is our diploma ceremony of the Jack, Joseph, and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences at Case Western Reserve University. And graduates, please be seated. Each year we are joined by alumni who are living the mission of the school. I would like the alumni in the audience and on the stage to please stand and be recognized. Alumni. Thank you. Graduates, we are here to celebrate your accomplishments. Each of you is outstanding and will go forward to change the world. You are change agents. You will be receiving the Master of Science in Social Administration or the Master in Nonprofit Organizations. Some of you will receive both degrees. These degrees signify not only your academic success, but more importantly, your passage into professions where you have chosen to serve others and to build strong communities. Whatever path is in your future, nonprofit leader, advocate, organizer, policy analyst, professor, lawyer, parent. Claim your professional identity and be proud. You are all change agents and Mandel School graduates. Of course, you were not alone in this journey. Thank you to the many people who have supported our graduates along the way. Many of your supportive family and friends are with us today, and I extend a very warm welcome to your guests. Graduates, in recognition of all of those who have helped you, mothers, fathers, spouses, partners, family, and friends, those with us today, those tuning into the live stream, and those who could not be here, would you please rise and honor them with a round of applause. Faculty members and field advisors have been integral to your education. I believe this is the largest collection of faculty we've had at a graduation ceremony. They wanted to be here. They wanted to celebrate with you. These dedicated individuals have worked hard to provide excellent educational experiences for you. Faculty and field advisors, would you please stand to be recognized and thanked? It is with great pleasure that I introduce the Mandel School graduate student speaker, nominated by his peers to represent the 2018 graduating class. Michael Sanford, please come forward. Got the big one.
Good afternoon, faculty, esteemed individuals on the platform, and to our distinguished guests. My name is Michael T. Sanford, excuse me. This thing is, I was told not to ad-lib, so I'm trying to stick to the script. My name is Michael T. Sanford, and I am your graduate speaker for the Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences. Right? Today is significant for a few reasons. For some of us, it's the biggest I told you so to every harassing voice that said we could not. For some of us, it's a new trajectory on our career. But for all of us, one thing's for sure, today is monumental. Growing up, I remember I was told a story of a group of navigators that would charter new territories, new lands regularly. And every time they would go and they would experience a victory in one of these new places, they would erect a monument. And in this monument, they would etch in the stone of that monument why this place held significance. Today, we erect monuments. Today, some of us in our monument, we etch in things like courage, because we understand that it takes courage to get to this place today, right? For some of us, we etch in things like change. By show of hands, how many of us can agree that we're different than when we first started this journey? So whether that was getting a new car, buying a house, getting married, even a haircut, for real, having babies, everything led to this, and we roll with the tides of change. We also etch in perseverance and fortitude. We understand that despite loss and many other hardships, we maintain spirit of conquerors. And we understand that despite our pain, we esteem this end result as worthy of our time. For me, it was the loss of my beloved grandmother. And I know that I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for the support of my cohort during that difficult time. I love you guys. Which leads to the next one, community. From the group text messages that with the assignment deadline reminders, the Facebook groups, and even carpools to class, we learned that victory is so much more sure when the currency among the collective is accountability. Personally, I want to thank my wife for her unconditional love and proofreading all my papers. Love you, hon. And to go back again, courage. We understand that far beyond bravery, courage denotes the leaning in head first into our situations and leaving a lasting impression. We understand that courage takes faith, and faith produced our victory. We understand that faith says we dare to believe that greater is the force that's operative in us than all external forces that oppose us. So today, I ask this one question: what's etched in your monument? I want to boldly declare over us that we will not deviate from the commission of this field, that the spirit of this experience would remain. We are change agents, right? I want us to consider that this diploma is the very first incentive of our labor. And I want us to understand that we have the power to debunk all status quo, societal cliche, and dogma. We are change agents. I leave you with this final admonition from the great late Dr. Maya Angelou. She said, be courageous. She said, for courage is the greatest of all of the virtues. We understand that courage allows us to implement all other virtues consistently. Again, I appreciate you guys voting me to stand in this moment. And congratulations, graduates, we did it.
A wonderful message. Thank you, Michael. Now we're entering the part of our ceremony where we're going to give a few awards. I'm pleased to begin the presentation of awards with the Irene Saag Gross Award. This award is selected by Mandel School students for a fellow classmate. This year, 2 remarkable students have been selected. At this time, I would like the current president of the Mandel Council for Student Community Leadership, Renee Smolinski, to come forward to present the award. Renee?
Hello. The Irene Saad Gross Award was established by Mr. Milton Gross to honor the memory of his wife, Irene Saag, an MSS graduate in the class of 1940. This award is given to a member of the graduating class chosen by his or her peers in recognition of outstanding interest and accomplishments in the area of humanitarian service. This year's winners of the Irene Saad Gross Award exemplify all of the noted qualities. It is with my pleasure that the 2018 Irene Saad Gross Award goes to Aaron Christopher Rentrope and Yi Tien. Aaron and Yi, please come forward to accept these awards.
You're going to join us for pictures. The Mandel School Dean's Award for Outstanding Student Achievement is presented to a graduate whom faculty feel exhibits academic achievement, exceptional service to the school, and exemplary performance to field education. For all of her accomplishments in leadership, I am pleased to present the 2018 Dean's Award for Outstanding Student Achievement to Katie Natal Russell. And Katie, come on. It's always fun because the students don't know until this happens. So. Each year we have the opportunity to recognize one individual as an outstanding field instructor. Field instructors are the social workers in the agencies who work without extra pay to help students develop their professional skills, apply the classroom theory to the realities of today's service delivery challenges, and develop their identities as professional social workers. They do it because they are committed to students and to the future of the profession. It is with great pleasure that I announce this year's Field Instructor of the Year, Elise Tompkins. Elise, come forward. The Mno Teacher of the Year Award is presented to an instructor who demonstrates dedication to the development of students in the Master of Nonprofit Organization program and their educational experience at the Mandel School. The Mno Teacher of the Year at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is Dr. Robert Fisher. And now we're going to present the John A. Yankee Outstanding Teacher Awards for full-time teaching. And to do so, I'm introducing Annette Iwamoto, who is the president of the Mandel School Alumni Association. Okay, Annette.
Thank you, Dean Gilmore, our welcome guests, faculty, and graduates. As president of the Mandel School Alumni Association, may I welcome the class of 2018 to our ranks. Today you join over 8,000 Mandel graduates from all 50 states and 41 countries across the globe. As alumni, we feel strongly connected to the school. Our greatest goal is to raise scholarship money to help offset the cost of tuition for students. Last year, we raised nearly $160,000 from alumni and friends that went directly into financial aid. Now that you are all officially alumni, remember us when you receive your annual fund call. Please save the date for your first reunion to be held on Friday, October 12th. This year's graduates may attend for free. Please stop by the Alumni Association table back at the school for a special gift from the Alumni Association. We are proud to be involved in the presentation of the Outstanding Teacher Awards. The awards honor Emeritus Professor Dr. John Yankee, who was nominated a record number of times as Outstanding Teacher for his ability to enlighten, motivate, and inspire. Although this award focuses on two people today, it is a testimony to the tremendous talent and commitment of each and every one of our faculty members who teach at the Mandel School. Please join me in thanking our entire faculty for their extraordinary commitment to the education of our students. Let's begin with the Adjunct Faculty Award. The Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Teacher at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel of Applied Social Sciences is Maureen Hefferman. Maureen, please come up and accept this award. Now for the Full-Time Faculty Award. The Outstanding Faculty Member at the Jack Joseph and Morton Mandel School of Applied Social Sciences is Christina Nedoku. Christina, please come forward and accept this award.
Congratulations, Christine. Yep. One more bit. And I want to share with you that several weeks ago, Christina Nedelku defended her doctoral dissertation, and she will be receiving her PhD in August. Congratulations. I tell her that now she's doctor because she also has a medical degree. There's one more award to be given today. Our commencement speaker, Dean Larry Davis, of the University of Pittsburgh School of Social Work is receiving the Herman D. Stein Distinguished Social Work Educator Award. Larry, come forward. Stand right here. Dr. Davis has spent his life and career dedicated to issues of race, civil rights, and social justice. He earned a bachelor's degree in psychology from Michigan State University and master's degrees in social work and psychology from the University of Michigan. He then decided to work in the trenches, joining Vista and spending 3 years in one of New York City's poorest neighborhoods. He returned to academia and attended the dual doctorate degree program in social work and psychology at the University of Michigan. And yes, he is wearing Michigan blue. In 2001, Dr. Davis was recruited to the University of Pittsburgh after a long period of distinguished service at the Washington University in St. Louis, the George Warren Brown School. He serves as Dean of the School of Social Work and is stepping down at the end of this semester. He also holds the Donald M. Henderson Chair. At Pitt, he also became the founding director of the Center on Race and Social Problems, which conducts applied social science research on race, ethnicity, and color, the first such center to be created in any American school of social work. Dr. Davis has long been recognized as a leading scholar of the narrative about race in America and its role in social justice. His academic life has been dedicated to the creation of solution-based dialogues that promote a more racially equitable society. Please join me in congratulating him on receiving the Herman D. Stein Distinguished Educator Award. Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. Had to check and see what time it was. I wasn't sure if it was morning still or not. Greetings, and thank you for that generous introduction, Dean Gilmore. Actually, we are good friends. You're very fortunate to have the great dean that you have. I'm very fortunate to have him as a friend. I want to thank Case Western Reserve University, the Mandel School of Applied Social Science, and Dean Gilmore for inviting me here today. It is both an honor and a privilege that I'm afforded the opportunity to address you, the class of 2018. It also happens to be my 17th and final year as the dean at Pitt. So we both share the prospects of new beginnings. And like you, I wonder where my next paycheck will come from. Just 2 years ago, the Mandel School celebrated 100 years of excellence in education, research, and commitment to the community. Clearly, you have a legacy to be proud of. Each of you is to be congratulated on becoming part of this legacy. But no one gets to where they are without the help of others. So let us take a moment here to express our appreciation and gratitude to everyone, and especially parents, faculty, and friends who have contributed to the achievements of our graduates by giving all of them a big round of applause. "100 years ago, the world was a vastly different place. World War I was coming to a close, and the victims of the first instances of modern warfare were coming home. Women still did not have the right to vote. African Americans were still second-class citizens, unable to share even a lunch counter with their white peers. And your school was just beginning its journey to become a leader in social work education and social justice. Social work professionals played significant roles in bringing about changes that challenge these inequitable systems. It is our history of promoting societal change which has made us popular to some and unpopular to others. There are, I believe, two factors which are characteristic of social workers. First, they believe that the playing field in our society is not level. And secondly, they believe that the people we serve are not in some way intrinsically flawed. But before I get too far along in my talk here, you should know that this is my favorite type of gathering to address. One, because you are completely distracted by the thought of graduation. And two, you're deliriously happy, so it doesn't really matter too much what I plan to say. However, I do have some rather important things to share with you today. There's an African proverb that says that the rich man and the poor man do not play together. Nor does it seem that they work together, learn together, or even pray together. Our country is more divided today than perhaps at any time since the Civil War. We're breaking into factions, whites versus non-whites, Christians versus non-Christians, straights versus sexual minorities, rich versus poor, and conservatives versus liberals. At times, it is difficult to imagine how we will ever come together again as a unified country. This is clearly the greatest challenge facing America today. It is because of these divisions that your skills and talents, which you've acquired as social workers, are needed now more than ever. Social work plays a social-emotional function in our society. That is, it has always been our job to assist in keeping our society together. It is our history of promoting greater societal equality for all of our citizens, which has made us heroes in some sectors of our society and villains in others. Well, now more than ever, our skills are needed. We're better suited for this task than any other profession. This is due in part to our diversity, but also due to our training. For those who would fan the flames of divisiveness, we must say to them, stop. This is America. We will not be torn into Bosnia, Rwanda, or Cambodia. We will not be turned into angry mobs, each fostering intergroup hatred, conflict, and destruction. No, this is America, which, by the way, is already a great country. We refuse to join those who seem to love to hate. Instead, we social workers will assist our country to pursue greater societal insight, harmony, and justice. This will be no easy task, as many who are powerful have vested interest in promoting divisiveness. Your role in helping to overcome that divisiveness is needed now more than ever. Exactly 50 years ago, I sat, as you do today, at a graduation, listening to an elderly black man whom I had never seen or heard before. That always gets a laugh. I don't know why it's so funny. I didn't write it that way to do that. It's just some fact. His name was Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. He was president of Morehouse College in Atlanta. He was the mentor and eulogizer of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. In his commencement talk, he asked that our class commit itself to fight for social justice. Well, I guess I took his request to heart, as that is what I have spent my entire life doing. So today I make a similar request of you. I believe that there are three areas where we would do well to focus our time, effort, and skills. These areas are enhancing democracy, improving our criminal justice system, and promoting income and wealth equality. Let us begin. Let us begin with enhancing greater democracy. Why do we want greater democracy? Democracy benefits people by protecting basic human rights, equality, freedom of speech, freedom of election, freedom of the press, and freedom of assembly. It prevents dictatorships by offering representative government. It has been said that casting a ballot is the best opportunity most of us will ever have to have a say in who will represent us, what issues they will address, how they will spend our money. By increasing the voter participation of all of our citizens, we promote greater democracy. Presently, too few of our citizens vote. In the last presidential election, only 60% of Americans voted. And in state and local elections, the percentage is much lower. We have one of the lowest proportion of voting populace among developed countries. We are, in fact, 31 out of 35 countries in voter turnout. This seems a bit sad, given that so many of our parents and grandparents fought and sometimes died to obtain the right to vote. Women fought for and achieved the right to vote just 98 years ago. Similarly, many African Americans paid dearly in the 60s for the right to vote. Yet, so many of us failed to use that right that those before us fought so hard to obtain. However, make no mistake, some would have us not vote and are actively engaged in efforts to make voting more difficult, if not impossible. They do this because they recognize that voting is the most powerful tool that citizens possess in a democracy. To bring about a more just society, we social workers must engage more earnestly in our country's political process. There is a long-standing political adage that says, quote, "If you don't vote, you don't matter." Presently, we are at risk of a small number of very rich and powerful individuals having an undue influence on our society. Therefore, we must advocate for greater voter participation from everyone. Voting is the best way we can promote more just and egalitarian society and prevent our country from becoming one governed by a privileged few. It has been said that you can march in the streets, you can go to town halls and demand more from your representatives, you can share the latest outrageous news on your social media feedback, all worthwhile activities, but none of it matters if you don't go out and vote. Your vote and your role in promoting democracy is needed now more than ever. Let's hope that one of the things that results from the recent school walkouts over gun laws is that many young people who might not have considered voting before will now be inspired to vote. And one of the issues they will be voting on is criminal justice, reform, and incarceration policies. Far too many people in America are incarcerated. This is especially true for populations that social workers work closely with. For example, 50% of children who age out of foster care end up in jail within 2 years. I find this to be an absolutely astounding fact. Certainly it is the case that too often money, skin color, and station in life determine who goes to jail, for which crimes, and for how long. I would like to share a story with you. One early evening in the 1950s, I was probably about 12 or 13, and a friend and I were playing outside just before dark. We were throwing rocks, trying with limited success to hit a big wooden billboard. Suddenly, we saw a police cruiser. We instinctively started running. Who knows what would have happened to me in today's world. The policeman, a white patrolman, drove around the block and cornered us. He asked what we were doing. We told him we were trying to hit that big billboard over there, but that we hadn't caused any damage. He promptly told us to get in the patrol car, and he kept us in his cruiser while he patrolled the neighborhood. We were pretty good kids, and it was embarrassing for us to be in the car. After about 2 hours, he called into the station and reported that he was taking 2 kids out to the juvenile detention center. The person on the other end informed him that the juvenile detention center was already full and could not accept any more youth. The policeman continued to drive us around for a little while longer and eventually let us go. I now believe that the police had already taken in their catch for the day. As an adult, I've often wondered why there were no calls to our parents, no efforts to take us home, no stern warnings about throwing rocks. Instead, for us, the process was, do not pass home, go directly to jail. As I grew older, I often wondered, what if there had been room in that detention center that evening? Would that have been the beginning of my juvenile record and perhaps a criminal career? What opportunities in life would that incarceration for clearly a minor infraction have taken from me? Fortunately, I will never know. The point here is that in this instance, my friend and I were not being industrious or hardworking or even making smart choices, but we had been lucky. Just by chance, there was no room in the inn for us. Unfortunately, for too many black boys and men who have not been so lucky, room has been found for them. In fact, 1 in 3 black males can expect to go to prison at some point in their lives. Presently, over 900,000 black Americans are in prison. They make up 33% of the prison population, while whites make up 30% and Hispanics make up 23%. High incarceration rates have a number of deleterious effects on our society. They serve to permanently make too many of our citizens forever unable to find employment, which makes it very likely that they will return to prison. It also fosters the breakup of families, and by doing so, contributes to a decrease in the well-being and the parenting of children. Additionally, high rates of incarceration take a substantial bite out of our local, state, and federal tax revenue. It costs anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 a year to keep someone in prison. This revenue could, for example, be better used to pay for our school teachers, improve our aging roads and bridges, and to get better care for children who age out of foster care. America has but 5% of the world's people, yet 25% of those who are incarcerated. We have more citizens incarcerated than any other country in the world, approximately 2.2 million. Why is it that we're the wealthiest country in the world with the greatest number of its citizens behind bars? Criminologists believe that this is foremost due to our inequitable opportunity structures. Social workers can contribute to the reduction of those we incarcerate by advocating for criminal justice systems to divert individuals who otherwise might have been incarcerated with nonviolent offenses into community-based treatment and support services. We can also advocate for more community-based restorative justice programs, and in addition, promote policies and programs that lift more Americans out of poverty. Your role as social work professionals in rehabilitating our criminal justice system is needed now more than ever. This brings me to my final and last point, promoting greater income and wealth equality. Similar to many of your parents and grandparents who came to this country poor, my parents came to Michigan poor from Alabama during the Great Migration of the 1940s. I, too, am a first-generation college graduate. My dad ran a small car repair shop, and my mom worked in an automobile factory for 37 and a half years. She never let me forget the 1/2. She made good money for the time, and we became part of the working middle class. Mom was always concerned about poor people. Despite having an only black Alabama 8th grade education, she was really quite astute about societal inequities. When she heard about the first heart transplant, her immediate response was that she feared that the hearts of the poor would be given to the rich. In her latter years, she had come to believe that things had gotten worse for the poor over time. It does seem to be the case that being poor today is to be poorer than it was 30 or 40 years ago. At the risk of dating myself, I will share something with you, which for me always puts this fact into perspective. In the 1960s, I know that's a long time ago, I worked at a grocery store called the Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, better known as A&P. I know you'd know where it was. I worked for a minimum wage of $1.15 an hour. But the cost of a movie in my small town was only 30 cents. So as a minimum wage worker, I could go to the movies 3 or 4 times for 1 hour's work. But now the cost of a movie ticket is generally $8 to $9. Minimum wage today is somewhere between $7.25 and $10, which will afford the minimum wage worker at best 1 movie ticket for 1 hour's work. There's little doubt that things have changed a great deal and that we have left low-income workers behind. As most of you are perhaps aware, America is experiencing its greatest income gap between rich and poor workers since 1929. The top 1% get 40 times more income than the bottom 90%. From 1978 to 2013, CEO compensation grew 937%, while the typical American worker saw only 10%. Some would have us get really excited about the rise in the stock market. And yes, this is a good thing if you own stock. But it's also a fact that 84% of the stock in this country are owned by the top 10% of the population. Greater wealth equality is sorely needed. We must work for higher living wages and promote tax structures which benefit all of our citizens, not just those who are wealthy. Such changes would do much to lessen our society's intergroup animosities and hatred. There's another African proverb that says that when you are rich, you are hated. When you are poor, you are despised. Attending college is increasingly becoming an upper-class experience. My parents could not have afforded to send me to college at today's prices. Greater income and wealth equality would make college within reach of greater numbers of poor and working-class families. Greater income and wealth equality will result in healthier lives. Researchers, indeed some of the researchers in this very audience, have shown that one of the most powerful predictors of having poor health is to be poor. Your role in achieving the benefits of income and wealth equality for all Americans is needed now more than ever. In closing, you, the graduating class of 2018, are the heirs to a very proud social work legacy. The last century has seen a great deal of positive change, which social workers like you helped to bring about. But at the same time, you are also heirs to a society that is now deeply troubled and one which needs the skills which you have learned here at the Mandel School. In parting, I leave you with a quote by our former First Lady. Soon the world will be looking to your generation to ensure our well-being for decades to come. I believe that all of you and your peers around the world are more ready than ever to meet the challenges. I guess I don't want to end this speech after all, huh? I believe that your leadership and contributions are needed now more than ever. Congratulations to each of you, and good luck.
Thank you, Dean Davis, for an inspiring presentation and one that I know our graduates heard in their hearts, and that's where you carry the messages throughout your life. Thank you so much, Larry. Before we begin with bestowing the diplomas, there's one other person I'd like to recognize today, and that is Professor Elizabeth Tracy. Please stand, Betsy. Professor Tracy is retiring after 30 years at the Mandel School, and her great passion has been working with you, her students. A distinguished scholar, she never wanted to leave the classroom, and she continued to work with you to help you be the greatest social workers you can be. So Betsy, on behalf of all of your students today and for the last 30 years, I want to thank you for your dedication to them. Okay, here it is. We now come to the part of the program that we've all been waiting for, where we honor each of our graduates individually. We're pleased that so many of our graduates are able to be here with us today. I do want to also acknowledge those who have completed the requirements for a degree and cannot be at this ceremony. We congratulate and salute each of you. We will honor graduates of the Master of Science in Social Administration and for the Master of Nonprofit Organization degree programs. Each graduate will come forward wearing an academic hood symbolizing their master's degree. They will proceed across the stage to be congratulated by me. Then each graduate will receive their diploma from the chair of their academic program or the director of their special programs. They also will receive a degree pin from our Alumni Association President, Annette Iwamoto. This pin is commemorative and symbolizes your accomplishments at the Mandel School. Wear it every day, wear it with pride. The MSSA and Mno are unique degrees. When people see these pins, they know you graduated from the Mandel School at Case Western Reserve University. Marshal, staff members, and guest participants, please take your places. I would like now to welcome the Director of Field Education, Amy Korsh-Williams, for the presentation of diplomas.
Good afternoon. It is my great privilege to present the class of 2018 graduates. We will begin with Leadership Fellows receiving the Master of Science in Social Administration. Dr. David Hussey will present the diplomas. Roxana Catherine Bell. Chad Biggers. Chantil Sheree Hall. Jessica Luger. Catherine Elizabeth Lewis, who is also receiving the Early Intervention Related Services Training Program Certificate. Jessica Christine Schweitzer, who is also receiving the Master of Public Health. It is my honor to now present the class of 2018 Child Welfare Fellows receiving the Master of Science in Social Administration. Field Faculty Advisor Beth Brindle will present the diplomas. Megan Lee Ash. Gina Yvette Callender. Angelina M. Hamilton. It is now my pleasure to present those graduates who are receiving both the Master of Science in Social Administration and the Master of Nonprofit Organizations. Dr. Robert Fisher will present the diplomas. Jennifer Lynn Angelo. Emily Wazinski. Kathleen M. Bates. Holly Nicole Bowen. Sherry A. Brandon. Bethany Emmelhines. Samantha Hill. Katie Keene. Jennifer Ann Kempert. Renetta McDonald. Shauna Beth McGee. Okay. Lemon only? Okay. Say it again. Marie Norris. Melissa Przensky. Haruna Sulemania. Samantha Tischler. Jia Chen Yao. Marie Elizabeth Zikafus. Excuse me for 1 second. Brianna Lee Adamson. So the folks that are coming up here now are Masters of Science of Social Administration graduates. My apologies. Kiana Adewusi. Dion Allen. Lydia Fowa Amwa Owusu. Chloe Marie Ball, who is also receiving the Early Intervention Related Services Training Program Certificate. Ellie Catherine Banco. Siobhan Bennett. Trinice Burkle. Sarah D. Bernard. Ranisha Bess. Jonathan Bibb. Kara Bilkert. Michelle Bingert. Kenzie Elise Black. Lindsay Lakin Nicole Bowie. Anthony Brown. Khalil Marquise Brown. Christy Lynn Bunch. Caitlin Elizabeth Canoni. Chunjuan Chow. Jovan Jinga Cardoso. Alora Marie Sinicola. Doris Ariana Clayton. Jerica Elaine Cobbs. Jocelyn Denise Cook. Christina R. Corrigan, who is also receiving a certificate in global health. Emily Corson. Alexis Pamela Marie Davis. Yatamik C. Davis. Haley Michelle DeLeon. Joseph Kevin Delagrange. Emily Canal Depew. Xiao Ding. Ashley Louise Dudinsky. Caitlin Marie Dugas, who is also receiving a certificate in nonprofit management. Claire Duncanson. Michaela Christine Durbin. Nicole Marie Edgel. Surafel Zige Ijidgu. Melissa C. Albert. Sonia Elizabeth Engelman. Kateri Ewing. Ray Phone. Chelsea, I'm sorry, Chelsea. Chelsea L. Figley. Christina Flesher. Priscilla Ashley Flores. Brooke Alyssa Friedman. Jessica Lee Friedman. Melanie Lynn Fromke. Jacqueline R. Garn. Ashley E. Graves. Shamli Gupta. Isabel Rita Haney. Jonathan Elliott Henry. Edie Marie Henthorn. Emily Hillier. Vivian Grace Hodges. Mengyao Ho. Renee Smith Howell. Daquala Shabri Hunt. Barbara Lou Isom. Tiffany Lamara Jones Bolek Tabo. Jean-Luc Kasumbei. Ria Kataria. Sean T. Kebker. Carly Grace Keller. Janelle S. Kinney, who is also receiving the Early Intervention Related Services Training Program Certificate. It's a mouthful. Brandy Chantel Knight. Kristen Kotheimer. Megan Lynn Kusina. Ashley Dawn Lamp. Kenneth Stephen Lancaster. Elsbeth Karen Lawrence, who is also receiving the Early Intervention Related Services Training Program certificate. Benjamin K. Lee. Xiying Liu. Laura Ann McLean. Sarah Makovitz. Melanie Marie Martin. Patricia Lee McLaren. Leslie Charmaine McCurdy. Sarah Marie McGann. Monica Marie Miller. Justin L. Monty. Cynthia Sue Moore. Carrie Moore. Jennifer Morningstar. Susan A. Rosinski. Lisa Denise Muhammad. Casey Marie Need. Sarah Nicole Neal. Alyssa Marie Nickel. Danielle Tierra Paul. Heather Lynn Paramore. Paramore. Danielle Nicole Peck, who is also receiving a certificate in nonprofit management. Madison Paige Peretta. Brandy C. Pledger. Stephanie Dawn Popel. Shiue Chin. Anne Raleigh. Judith Wertheim Rapport. Adriana Jade Ray. Angeline Renner. Aaron Christopher Rentrope, who is also receiving a certificate in nonprofit management. Karen Lyle Reynolds. Matthew Kevin Rich. Dan DeJuan Richardson. Brendan Ritchie. Adriana Ripma. Lindsay N. Roberts. Brunette Robinson. Nisa Ann Robinson. Samuel Arthur Rogers. Jason Robert Ross. Dorothy Nicole Russell. Katie Natal Russell. Sonia Monique Russell. Jessica Michelle Rajuna. Stephanie Jane Ryder. Michael Terrell Sanford. Sherry Janelle Sanker. Danielle Scarpetti. Kelly Jo Schmidt, who is also receiving a certificate in management and leadership. Rachel Lynn Schreck. Joanna R. Smith. Priscilla Smith. Sarah Marie Dotter Stalkey. Sarah Elizabeth Cerna, who is also receiving a Master of Public Health. Amarinder Kaur Sayen, who is also receiving a Master of Public Health. Meredith Sue Tavener. Brittany Thompson. Yi Tian, who is also receiving a certificate in global health. Jason Andrew Tolkaz. Porija Bay Tramble Alexander. Rachel Truhan. I'm sorry, Rachel Marie Truhan. Shamika Turner. Madison Van Berklio. Amina Morelia Vargas. Kathleen Morin Vasilis. Matthew Villaluz. Aubrey Maria White. Mariana Shante White. Rosa Elizabeth White. Alyssa Brooke Weigel, who is also receiving a certificate in global health. Kendall Woods. Amber M. Woody. Yaseni. Jonathan Yaseni. Ha Zhang, who is also receiving a certificate in management and leadership. Did I say your last name? Okay. Cindy Zweifel. Nicole Michelle Roytek. Lakia Shante O'Neill Hunter. No? Tell me again. My apologies. Lakaya Shanae O'Neill Hunter. Do you want the... Nadja Nico Clark. Marla Geis. Catherine Sarah Chula. Rose Marie Taylor.
Let's hear it for all of our graduates. Graduates and guests, a great deal of planning has gone into this ceremony, starting back in the fall. And I'm not going to name everyone who's been involved because we'd be here for another 20 minutes. But you've seen some of the people who are visible and some of the people who've been working behind the scenes, but they've been so dedicated to helping you to have a very enjoyable and memorable event. And I just want to thank them for all the work that they have done. One of our speakers in the past stated, once a part of the Mandel School, always a part of the Mandel School. And that's how I feel, and I hope that you feel that too. What I see here today is that you really care about one another. You care about the experience that you've had together. You are a cohort, the 2018 graduates. You helped each other in your classes. You, as Michael said, you texted one another. You reminded each other about deadlines. You gave some advice on how to complete assignments. Continue doing that. You know how to stay in touch with one another these days. Social media is wonderful for that. But we also want you to stay in touch with us at the Mandel School. Tell us about what you're doing. Some of you are going to leave here and go only 4 or 5 miles into your homes, and you're going to be working. Others are going to travel several thousand miles to their homes. But we want you to always feel a part of the school. Always feel not only that you can come back and talk with us and participate in events, but reach out to us. Reach out to your faculty members when you have questions, when you want to have advice, or you simply want to share something that's been going on in your life. Yeah? We care. We want you to remain members of our Mandel community. I met many of you at orientation 2 or 3 years ago, and I thanked you for the commitment that you made in your heart to start the journey at our school. And today I'm so happy to share this stage of your journey, where we get to celebrate your achievement as scholars within our school. But it is only the beginning. Dean Larry Davis has given you a charge to go out and be the people who help change this world, encourage people to vote, encourage people to think about the sentencing that we have for individuals. We're facing opioid crises. We're facing many problems. We've always faced problems. And who are people on the front line facing it? It's the social workers. You will make a difference. And I thank you for doing that. And now our ceremony is over. I'm going to ask our guests to remain seated to permit all the graduates in the platform party to exit gracefully and safely from the building. And graduates, family members, you can meet outside in the plaza, but I suggest that you start making your way back to the Mandel School where we're going to have a party. All right, see you back at the Mandel School. Congratulations, graduates.